What's up, everybody? Welcome back to S&E Ants YouTube channel. This would be an update for our viewers for all the Camponotus colonies we have currently. I know you guys have been waiting on this update for quite a while now. When you're watching this video, it should be close to 2 weeks into October. The recording of this video, especially the footage you're seeing, is about the end of September. Last couple weekends of September. There's a couple different clips in here, and obviously I've sped it up for time's sake. I just wanted to give you guys a good update on them, show you how they're doing, show you their growth, what I've been doing, what I'm currently planning to do, all the above. So first things first, if you're watching this, there should be a little pop-up right about now. 80% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. Please give me 2 seconds of your time and just subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out, and it shows the interaction that I have with you guys, and it shows me that you guys really like the content and you're wanting to continue to watch it. I know I have a lot of new viewers coming, and I have a few old viewers, as you can tell, coming back to watch. But just give me 1 second and go ahead and hit that sub button. Let's move on. So Camponotus, let's call it colony number 1, which is my main colony, as you see in the background. They are doing actually fantastic. Earlier in the months, I've done a couple YouTube shorts. If you've watched them, I have a little playlist for them going on. They've grown pretty rapidly, and I'm actually quite impressed with it. This is probably one of my first colonies that have taken off in such a growth boom, I would say, and have done very well. I've done a mixture of different feedings. I have in the past used fruit flies, etc. We've talked about this, but here recently, probably in the last 2 months, I've actually not done that. The fruit flies seem to be a little bit of a hassle for me to deal with, and they just not what I'd like to feed the ants. I've been rotating crickets from a local store, as well as mealworms, different size mealworms, and they've taken on to it quite well. As you can see in the video, all the ants are very well fed. They have plenty of food storages in their abdomens, the whole 9 yards. Don't quote me on the specifications. I'm an ant keeper. I'm not an expert in ants, but they are very well fed and very big for having the food storages inside them. Their brood piles are continually getting bigger. As you can see in the video, I've used 2 batches of eggs in the background, quite a big mound of pupa and larvae. As of recording this audio, they actually have gotten even bigger. They're easily around 30 workers, and hopefully going into diapause, which we'll talk about in just a second, they'll do quite well, and I don't foresee this being a problem, or this colony being a problem coming out of diapause. You never know. Ant keeping, you have great years, and then you put them in the diapause, and they come out, and they've all died. That's not the plan here. Hopefully this colony does really well, and we can go into year 2 with this colony strong. They can get bigger. We can get them out of this mini hearth and put them into a bigger setup, formicarium from Tar Heels. I've looked at a couple of his formicariums, so got some plans for them. Now, let's talk about diapause, or hibernation, as some of you know it as. I don't have a lot of personal experience with this. Again, you'll see different clips in the background, so just heads up. I don't have a lot of experience with this, so I do have my own personal opinions and personal trials with this. My plan of action going forward into the fall is here. I have taken them off heat. That is action number 1 for me. I took them off of heat. Heat promotes growth and promotes egg laying. So I've taken them off heat. I've scaled back their feeding. I feed them once a week, if that. They're really resilient. They're ants. You can starve them, but they can go long periods without food, and they'll actually do fine, especially with how well they're fed already. They have plenty of food storages. So I've cut back that heat and that protein intake to limit the amount of brood being produced, and hopefully the queen stops altogether, going into, like I said, diapause or hibernation. I don't want her producing anymore. eggs because they won't survive. Well, the eggs will survive, but the rest of the brood I want to emerge out so we can go into diapause next year and be fine. Again, this is an updated clip. This is closer to what we have now, but this is what I'm trying to get them through. I have quite a few big larvae left to pupate and get out and merge, so I'm trying to work through that before the fall. But again, going back into diapause, the plan is to get a mini fridge. I'm going to video that. I'm going to video getting it, unboxing it, showing you guys how I'm going to set it up. A lot of people do wine coolers. I don't really want to spend the money on a wine cooler. They can tend to be very expensive, upwards of $100 to $150. So that's around where I'm at. I can get a mini fridge that can hold both the Pennsylvania's colony and the Cassinus colony, right like on the upper end of $100, and actually really nice. So I'll do an unboxing and show you guys how to do that, how to set it up, what to do, and like I said, you want to slowly cool the colony going into diapause. You don't want to just dump them into cold. So like I said, we'll do some videos about that. This is more or less an update. So again, we'll go through that and show you how I plan to do diapause. Again, you just want to make sure they have water. The biggest thing is hydration, and you don't want a whole lot of humidity going into it. It can mess with the ants because of how cold it is. So just as long as they have water in a tube or whatnot to drink from, they'll be fine. So moving into this next clip, this is my updated the Camponotus Colonies colony. In this clip right here, you will see my new Nanantic that had emerged. I did a YouTube short about this. Again, very short video, but this is the actual footage that I got of her. This colony is doing fairly well for the speed it's growing. It's one of the slower Camponotus colonies I've had, or that I have. Again, this is more or less what I expected with Camponotus. Very slow, not very, I would say, energetic. They are, again, a new founding colony. She came in with a couple of workers, maybe 4, I think, if I remember right, maybe 5. She's closer to 10 now. Again, this is a little bit older footage of the first Nanantic that had emerged. I love it because they're actually really, really transparent, almost like a white-yellow color. So they look really cool. They're really bright, and they're really easy to see. You can see her in the background. She's clear as day, just emerged. So almost, like I said, translucent. Her exoskeleton's still hardening up, and then once it hardens up, it will turn into the dark red, gold color like the rest of her sisters. Now, again, this colony's doing fairly well. Slower. I feed this colony again once a week. It's really hard to heat this colony because of the way the formicarium is, but I've tried to give them as much heat as I could. I think that's why they're being a little slower at growing, but in the background you can see the pupae they still have to emerge, and it's already somewhat emerged. So again, in this next clip, this is sped up a little bit because this is a longer clip, so that's why they look frantic and running around. But again, she's got a nice batch of eggs, couple of pupae back there, a couple of larvae. I think, like I said, I think they're up to 10, 11 workers now. They've done really, really well. This is probably my favorite colony. The first Pennsylvania's colony is my best growing one, and my first colony I've had. This would be my favorite. The colors with them are honestly fantastic. With the white background of the, I think that's like it's not a plaster, but it's almost like a plaster that Tar Heels Ants does. It really makes them pop, and I can stand out. So they're going to do well. And again, we're going to do a video on how we put them into diapause. I'm really, really wanting this colony to do well. I'm a little worried about diapause with them, but hopefully they do well coming out and going into next year. We can really see them explode population. I can give them a lot more heat, a little bit more protein to intake. Again, main priority here is to make sure they're hydrated, keep water in the formicarium of some sort, whether I don't know how, however you water your ants. Some people do the little standing towers of water. Some people do the water tubes, like hamster water feeders. However you do it, just make sure they're watered. We'll do an update video when it comes that time, but I just wanted to show you guys both colonies and how they're doing since we did the new queen update. So I will catch you in the next video, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you. Hey, S&E Ants here. If you enjoyed this video, check out this recent upload or this recommended video. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button in the middle of the screen. If you liked what you just watched, please drop a like. It really helps the channel. If you have any other suggestions or ideas, comment down below. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time.